welcome to yet another question special, because we just can't get our shit together in the main episodes to get around to these questions, because we just waffle too long, so we feel the need to do these little extras for you, because we love you that much.
And you all love it as well.
And you all love it as well. So again, gonna gloss over the intros. You know everybody by now. We've been coming in your ears for 10, 11 months now, so... Oh yeah, 10, 11 months. So you should know who we are, and if you don't know who we are, what the hell are you doing listening now? So we'll kick off with I think a lovely little jingle, and then we'll get going.
Oh yeah, it's Duane's Community Question Time.
Our first question, it comes from Joe Middleton, and it's multifaceted as usual from Joe. And he asks, were you the type to suffer with FOMO? And if so, has the challenge changed that? We'll start with James is a hairy fuck. David.
Excellent.
Do we need context for that?
No, just leave it.
Okay. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, I do suffer from that. But will this...
Do you know what FOMO actually means, Dave? That's the first question.
For the listeners who don't know.
Sorry, right. So it stands for fear of missing out. So basically,
it does.
If you get embroiled in the hype of a game and all the rest of it, and you think, oh, actually, I've got to have that because everybody's talking about it, that kind of thing. I do suffer from that to an extent. Will this change me? No. To be honest, doing this, I've loved doing this year, but I can honestly say it's in no way changed anything about my attitude towards buying games. I will still buy games half drunk off the PlayStation Store.
And you'll still be shit at them.
Next week. Well, all right, mate, we'll talk about that.
No, we're not going to talk about that.
No, we won't talk about that.
Should leave that for me.
But no, it won't change my attitude at all, no.
What was the last game?
What was the point in doing it then?
Yeah, good. Actually, Rich, you're right. See ya. I'll go. I'm off.
We've not learned anything.
You have learned nothing.
Why am I doing
fucking
this?
Enormous waste of time.
Oh my god, you've just flushed a year of your life, gaming life, down the toilet. What a fool.
At least we get to see his lovely face every month.
And hear his dulcet Bristolian tones. Lovely.
Bristolian? Fuck off.
Fuck off.
I'm fucking Gloucester.
Gloucester. That's right, Rich knows that. Gloucester. Fucking Bristol. Bristol? Only wankers live in Bristol.
Mate, I've been to Gloucester.
Sorry to all our Bristol
shithole.
listeners, he did not mean that.
I did, but only because James lives in Bristol. That's it. If other people live in Bristol, you aren't wankers.
I don't live in Bristol, Dave, so fuck you.
He works in Bristol. Remember, all those doors are all in Bristol.
Only wankers work in Bristol.
It is like visiting an elderly relative when Dave's on, isn't it? Dave, we've had this discussion almost every
All right, he lives in Bristol, works in Bristol.
Works in Bristol.
What's the difference?
Doesn't live.
Anyway.
What's the difference? Stuart?
I think we've all suffered from it. I don't think I suffered from it that bad. I do remember when Destiny 2 came out, though, and I was chopping at the bit for that, and I wanted, everybody's on that one, and then Division 2, a little bit like that, and I think probably the last proper single-player game, though, I got about that. It was weird, because I left it go a week, I didn't buy it on release day, but I was itching so much with Fallout 4, and I loved Fallout 4. Got the platinum in it, played all the DLC, really enjoyed it. Some of the DLC packs were a bit naff, but most of it was good. But that game, I remember a week going, and I'm going, I don't want Fallout 4. It's going to be awful. I don't want it. I don't want it. And then a week later, I was like, I must have it. So I think that's it, really. I mean, I think we all suffer from it, really. How can we not?
I think I kind of a little bit, not like hugely. I think I'm the same with you with Destiny 2 when that came out. I actually left work early to come home and play that the day it was released, because I had to get on it. I need to get on this the moment. I don't want anybody to be ahead of me. I need to be the first to play.
Was there a patient dead on a bed somewhere in a hospital then, Duane? Because you didn't.
No, my list had finished. I wasn't. I don't not fulfil my professional duties.
I don't know. He slipped up
Yeah,
there.
he stumbled a bit there.
I was trying to think of the words. Words were failing me. It's still early in the morning here.
Save it for the inquest, Wayne.
You're the wordy one as well.
I'm the wordy one. And there's been a couple of times this year, like I think with the Star Wars Squadrons, I think I was kind of like, oh, I definitely have got that. And I think Pikmin 3 came out on the Switch last week over the weekend, and that's another one I think I would have like grabbed had I not been doing this.
What came out?
Pikmin 3 on the Switch.
Well, hang on a sec. It was on New Games with James, so it doesn't exist.
No, he's not one he's interested in. So, so I don't totally, but a couple of times I'm like, oh, I mean,
okay. This year, when Last of Us 2 was released, I wasn't happy. I really wasn't happy. And then seeing on my PSN friends list about 20 people playing it, and I'm thinking,
if I hadn't had that,
what am I doing?
Had that as my gift, I think I would have been quite.
But credit to me, I went through it and I didn't buy it.
Well, not that we know of.
I didn't buy it, David. I called you David then.
David,
not Dave, not Dave. David.
How about you, Rich? Are you a FOMO sufferer?
I would definitely be. Look, if I hadn't had a gift and a joker with Call of Duty and FIFA 21, as much as I pour derision on those games, I definitely would be FOMO on that. So if I hadn't got FIFA 21 and the guys were playing pro clubs, then that was it. Before that, the biggest FOMO I ever had was actually in Destiny, weirdly enough. And when I played Destiny 1, and I dived into it, played the arse out of it, and then everyone else, I thought everyone else gave up.
There were a lot of people who gave up very early on. They went, "Oh, I fit the level cap,"
and I committed to it.
That's when the game actually starts properly, in my opinion. But a lot of people just, I stopped and gave up. I reached the level cap and stopped. You're like, fools.
Well, that's how I met. That's how I met James, was through Destiny 1.
Well, that's how I came into the MLG, was because I needed people to do raids with. So James Watley kind of pulled me in and was like, "These guys are great for doing raids with," and so that's kind of how I came through to MLG in the first place.
We need to do
Destiny. Yeah. Yes, we still need. We've said this many a time. We definitely still need to do that last raid, Destiny 1 raid.
We will do. We will. We got a calendar now, boys. I'll put it on the calendar.
We need to make sure we leave plenty of time because it's a long one.
Can I just... are you guys going to let Rich actually finish answering that question then? Because he was halfway through his answer.
Sorry,
I'm
Rich.
not fucking interested.
Love you, Rich.
Yeah. Anyway, Destiny. You're right, yes. So when you guys all picked it up, I put it down after putting many, many hours into it and racing to the level cap. And then went away from a couple of months, came back and opened up my friends list. And I'm like, hey, every fucker is playing that. And then James and Jacko and just everyone was way gone. And then I spent the next 6 months trying to chase up. So when Destiny 2 came out, I was like, I'm not going to let that happen again. I'm going to absolutely commit to Destiny 2. And again, every fucker gave up. And then I thought, well, no, I'm going to carry on pushing on through. And then everyone gave up again, except James Watley.
I don't know. Destiny 2 was a funny one at the start, though, wasn't it? Because it was everybody thought it was great, and it was, and then they realised it wasn't. I thought it was a bit odd.
It got boring, didn't it? It got boring.
I can't believe how they got away with that game, but also how I see people still playing years and years of it. You know, but it's a game I would have loved to have got into. But Destiny, as you know, multiplayer is not my favourite. But it's such a fucking brilliant game. I want a Destiny 3 just so we can all start again. Go, let's come back.
From scratch.
Rich, you were right there at the start, and then you sort of drifted off a little bit, but then came back, didn't you?
But then I was level chasing from there and got just get annoyed and everything like that. And I wish I'd committed to it. So I want a Destiny.
But aren't all
3.
service games like that? Unless you only ever play it all together at the same time, you'll always be chasing each other.
Yeah, and all my FOMO is all on that type of game. So my original FOMO would have been WoW WoW. So continually level chasing. So when I started WoW day one. And I had to go on a US service because it wasn't out in Europe. And we went on US service, and my mate, who wasn't working at the time, was always 3 or 4 levels behind. And so I would come home, chase the levels, try to get to level 80, yeah. And that was my fear of missing out. Would be at work and like, oh my God, I've got to get home and play WoW. I have to do it. Like, if I see people playing single-player games, I'm not that fussed. I've broken that. What?
Nothing.
Why are you laughing?
It's Dave being childish again.
Oh, right, okay. I thought I was going to throw a cheat in there for something.
No,
we need to provide a little bit of context for the listeners. Right, we've got a Zoom chat, and you've got your name on there, and you can rename your own name. So Dave is putting witty things in there.
I'd hardly call it witty.
To say.
Childish is
just
what
being
I go with.
Just for we can edit this out, but it says on my screen, I've just spotted some semen in jam.
Oh right, okay.
That's what it said. That's what it actually says on my screen.
Too long a name,
witticism,
Dave. So unfortunately, it hasn't worked.
Well, I'll read it in full then. It says I've just spotted some semen in James's beard. Is what it should say.
Yeah.
So the question is, Dave, is it his or yours?
I recognise
control. Getting it all the way to Bristol.
Anyway,
it's got a bit of blood in it. That's how I know.
Oh, fuck's sake. James, let's just move on.
No. Apart from FIFA.
Just always no.
No, apart from FIFA, the same with Rich. If people were playing pro clubs and, they had their characters in the mid-80s and I logged on and mine was shit in 78, I'd be a bit pissed off. And I did feel like that with Destiny. That's why I pumped 1,000 hours into it. So, but Destiny 2, it did, but then Destiny 2 didn't grab me.
No, Destiny 2 didn't grab me in the same way.
Nowhere near. I think I played 24 hours of it, and that was about it.
Maybe because you were 1,000 hours into Destiny 1. I don't know if someone came in completely fresh and judged Destiny versus Destiny 2, whether or not they would say one was a better game.
Oh,
than
Destiny
the other.
2 looked a lot prettier.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I think actually played nicer, but it was not as good.
So. No, I think my issue with it was always that in Destiny 1, if you pick a gun, the AS Luna, which was a hand cannon, you could then pick up the same gun the next day if you were lucky, and it would be completely different. It would have different perks and everything. Whereas in Destiny 2, once you got a gun, that was it. It never changed. So you could pick it up again, and the perks would be the same. So you weren't chasing anything. I wasn't chasing the god roll, so to speak. And it was the same with armor as well.
And they took that model straight into Division 2.
Yeah.
No, kind of. Now, they've changed a lot now with Division 2, where you can re-roll stuff or get different mods and abilities and stuff. So. And
you can re-roll in Destiny 1. But obviously in Destiny 2 it was null and void, and I just didn't feel I was just chasing a gun, and then once you got it, you're like, oh, okay, I'm not chasing anything else now. Like
the Mythoclass. Oh, we don't talk about it.
Oh, the Galahorn was the one everybody wanted.
Yeah, and I'll bring it up again. I loved it when I got my second Galahorn while I was playing with Jacko, and he hadn't got one. He went quiet completely. Didn't say a word. There was nothing.
Oh, poor Jacko.
Yeah, I know.
I think somebody swore at me when I got my second from a Crota raid, and I didn't even see it pop up on my screen. Somebody else saw that I got it, and they went, "You absolute bastard!" To company, and I was like, "What?" And then I checked. I was like, "Oh yeah, I got another Galahorn. Nice.
Oh, another Galahorn.
Ooh, another one. Nice."
So yeah, I've never suffered from FOMO until I started playing FIFA. Really, And I probably would have with Call of Duty as well, because everyone else had it, and it would have. My fix for playing with my friends would have been gone. I'd have been sitting there twitching.
Joe also asks, and I think this one is specifically aimed at Rich and Dave, because it does say Rich and Dave. He asks, what do you guys think of Fall Guys Season 2?
Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha. Definitely silence.
Be careful, because he's probably watching now. I know he'll listen to this when it comes out, but he's probably watching us right now.
For what I saw of Fall Guys,
Played.
it's probably boring. Is anyone still playing Fall Guys?
Well, we're not.
I don't
Well,
think so.
apart from you and
We're not.
Dave.
I think so.
No, like is anyone? Is community?
We're going to have a go at it next year, aren't we? But I think we'll probably have a go in it. We'll have a laugh, and then that'll be it.
With some of these.
Yeah, we'll get.
Nice beer, mate. Nice beer.
So
Like a nice
We should
altar.
have some. We should have some. Why don't we have some kind of league competition early next year?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
one
that
of the
sounds-
first
that's-
things we should kick
A
off with that
league
one, actually.
competition. Oh,
That'd be a
sounds
good
interesting.
idea,
That's
yeah.
something we should probably try.
Well, yeah,
Should, because yeah.
and maybe we'll have a look at some.
We'll have a go at that. Next question Joe asks is for Stu. Now, Stu, he asks, do you think you could have completed this challenge just by playing Division 2?
It is a really good question. Yes. Because
If this challenge was just play Division 2 all year, would it have been any different for you?
I have played so much Division 2 this year, and it's actually taken me away from completing my pile. Now, there's been some times this year when I've been playing it and I've got a bit bored, because I've just gone, I've completed everything I need to do, but I'm now just playing around in the world for no reason when I could be doing something else. So I would say at least it's taken up probably a good 50% of my pile time.
Drop your hours on us.
About 850
Fuck!
so far.
Fuck. That's almost James
And honestly,
level Destiny.
mate, and I'm not even. There's a couple of other people I play with. Vicky, you know Vicky. She's
I bet she is. Yeah,
She's about 900 hours, and a friend of ours, Malcolm. I think Malcolm though, he's gone in. I think he's
Mate, he
probably
was
just
late.
under
He was
me,
late
but
to it. He was really late.
He's late to the game, but he's made up for it. He really
When
has made up
when
for
did the
it.
Division 2 come out?
Oh, it was last year, wasn't it? November, was it? Last year?
That's when it first came out.
No, it's
Hooray.
before that. Because when I bought
The
my
year before?
Xbox One last May, I had a download code for Division 2.
Oh,
And that was, and I
Okay.
think it had been out a little while before that, so
It's been out for about 2 years.
okay.
I'd say 2 years.
But even there was like 30 days. Quick math.
Yeah,
28
near enough.
days.
Yeah. If I haven't got my PlayStation by me, so I can't switch it on and find out. But
No, but 850 hours you can work.
yeah,
out.
I know. But I do play it at least minimum once a week. I mean, when I say once a week, for a good probably 5-6 hours.
You should do a calculation and work out since that game come out, what percentage of your life you've spent playing it.
I don't have to, because it'll tell you if you work out how many 850 hours is.
Yeah, because now PlayStation delivering, it won't be long till they deliver you your year stats, because they did that last year, didn't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, and it was all Division 2, my stuff.
Mine should be pretty good this year, actually. I've got quite a few games knocked off.
Mine will,
that would
mine
actually
will
look
be a
impressive.
nice mix, and it might reveal some secrets.
Oh, really?
You know, but you know what though, Joe? That is a good question. I think I could have. Well, I have. I've gotten quite far through this year just on Division 2. So, and I'm a bit ashamed. I'm loving the game, but it is taking me away from stuff. So, anyway, so another question.
He asks, how well did we all know each other before we started this escapade? I'll start, because I think of the four of you, I had kind of played Destiny once with Stuart, and that was pretty much it, I think.
I mean, Duane, please
was it.
don't take this the wrong way, but I cannot remember.
No, but that's the thing. I only
That
think,
is frightening.
I only think
can't remember that.
I vaguely remember, because I played with Vicky a couple of times, and I think I remember
Yeah, well,
your
Vicky
voice. and I
said,
think that was it.
Duane. She goes, Duane. We played Destiny with him. Okay.
Yeah.
Did we?
Did we?
Funny enough, that's when his band are asking, Do you remember playing Duane, the bassist? No?
Brace yourself.
Yeah, you
brace
remember
yourself,
that,
Stuart.
That prick who got us banned from all those venues. I don't remember him.
Duane, if I played Destiny with you once 3 years ago, I'd have remembered it, mate.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
Oh, you're such a kiss ass.
Thanks.
No, but
Get that tongue out of his arse.
Dave. Right, I met Dave. He was asking about PSVR stuff, and I lent him a game. And that's
Eagle Flight.
That's it, Eagle Flight.
You lent him a game before you even knew him.
My wife went, "What are you doing that for?" I went,
dangerous.
He's all right. He's all right. And I got it back. I got the game back. He sent me Spider-Man. And now we're good friends. Oh, we are, aren't we? Are we good? Are we good?
Friends? Fuck off. No, we of course are.
Then I knew James from playing Destiny 1. I only ever met Rich the first time I went to MLG X. That's when I first met Rich.
And I was with Dave. Wasn't that when me and Dave were on the
Turbo Shandies?
Cheeky Turbo Shandies?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Well, you would have known because me and Dave were just smashing the place up. So with chairs,
So I've known him, but Duane since podcast he's like my brother.
Oh.
Known him many a year.
It's a strange family. It's a
very strange family we've got going on here. Anybody else need to throw anything in on this one?
James interrupted our FIFA thing by joining us. I've known James, that's 5 years ago. And I speak to him more than I do my wife.
Lucky James.
I know. Sadly,
you speak to yourself more than you speak to Rich's wife.
Yes, exactly. Whoever she is. Dave was a lost soul in Birmingham that we picked up with Mr. Lever, and we've had a lovely relationship since. Yes,
I remember that.
Stu, MLGX, and Duane. He's my fresh new love.
Aww. I love you guys.
Yes. My 2020 squeeze. No, great. All good. We should keep doing this.
So,
definitely should.
Dave, how did you and I? It was Destiny or was it at MLGX?
We played together online before we met in person.
Yeah, we did.
Because otherwise it wouldn't work the other way around.
Yeah.
Are we talking about grooming now, are we?
James groomed. James could do with the grooming, actually. Look at him.
You're not wrong, I could.
Yeah, so we played online first, then we met at MLGX, and that's when I first realised how slowly you ate. When we would just be waiting in a pub for you to finish whatever meal you were eating.
It's only the breakfast. It's only the breakfast. It's mainly the breakfast.
But that was the top. That was top weekend. I think that might be my second MLGX. My first one, Rich took me under his wing. I just rocked up in a hotel in Birmingham. Didn't know anyone. Hadn't played online with anyone, and that was brilliant. We just kind of got pissed and kind of hit it off straight away, so that was great. Stu, I think probably was the year after we kind of physically got together, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, but still got the scars.
Oh, yeah, you'll have those for some time. And emotional
I think it's called anal prolapse.
Emotional scars I'm talking about, yeah. You think I was talking about?
And Duane kind of met him this...
Sorry. Try and get Stu to edit the word anal prolapse out of that one.
He's keeping that in, mate.
Can't keep that in.
He can't keep it in, that's why it's prolapsed.
Hey! Love it.
And Duane is, again, just kind of got to know Duane this year. But he's, kind of fitted in. Well, not fitted in, but just... We just got on really well, straight away, haven't we? All of us. It's great.
I slotted in quite nicely, yeah.
You did. I've heard that.
Actually, Duane, so really we all knew each other.
Yeah. And
you were kind of the outsider. So how was it when you first did an interview with us, or when you first did the first show? I've got to admit, since just doing all the editing, when you for the first 3 or 4 podcasts, you'd hardly said anything. They were just.
No,
like
I was
this.
really quiet.
Now I can't shut you up. Jesus Christ! It's just on and on and on. No. So, what was it like though when you first went in? Was you worried? Was you?
Well, I think because I'm not exactly the most social person. So like if I'm in, I hate like going out to like loud pubs because I will just kind of like be quiet. So I think that was kind of like
you are a musician, remember?
Yeah, I am. But that's the thing. I'd rather be in a pub playing music than like, because then I'm doing something and I'm there, but I'm not like having to interact with like people.
You should join a band. You should join a band, mate, if you like playing music.
Yeah, I'm already looking at starting another one. It's terrible. So yeah, I think the first few I was kind of like just kind of finding my feet a little bit with you guys and kind of seeing what the boundaries were, and then I realised there were no boundaries, so everything is fair game.
None at all. Cool. Well, I'm glad that you didn't feel awkward or anything like that.
No, it's just. It's kind of how I would have been had I like met you all socially. I would have been quiet at first, and then I think as I kind of like got the feel of you, as so to speak. I think
interesting. What, Duane? Why did you want to do? Why did you want to do this?
I don't know. I really don't like. I was like when I saw the advert go, I was like, oh, that would be really good to do. And then I was like, what the hell are you doing? You hate talking to people on the phone. Like this is just like the most ridiculous thing ever. Why are you doing this? And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then actually I thought, well, no, fuck it, let's do it. Even though I don't have that many games, I thought, well, I'm going to do it. PS5's on the way. Clear out some of those games, otherwise they'll never ever get played. So that was kind of like it, and I thought, well, make some nice new friends on the way. And
isn't that a nice story? I'm not taking. It sounds like I'm taking the piss saying that, but I'm not taking the piss. Isn't that?
It always sounds like you're taking the piss. It's your Gloucester accent.
It's just how you talk, mate.
Isn't it nice though? It's just really nice, isn't it?
It is great.
It's just the fact that you went to Birmingham on your own and not knowing one person and just booked a hotel. I couldn't do that. I've got to say,
to put yourself out there.
Mate, that was nothing compared to booking a flight to come and live halfway or completely on the other side of the world. And I was on that flight originally when I was coming down. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? What the hell are you doing?"
You did have a job though, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a job. I had a job lined up and everything.
Well, right, that's cool.
But just leaving everything behind was like going, nobody there. Like, what the hell are you doing?
But once there's a medical inquest on the way, you've got to go.
The court date's looming. I've got to get out
of there.
No, but it was really weird. I was like, they're going, what the hell are you doing? No, I didn't know anybody, and I was completely on my own when I came down here. But yeah, I don't regret it. I think that's kind of like how I do things. They're kind of like, just fuck it, let's do it. Like feet first, and just like deal with it afterwards.
He was sat on that plane, Rich. He was thinking, I can't believe she remembered. Oh, fuck it, I must get the dosage right next time.
You, David, are an absolute git.
He won't make the same mistake twice.
Anyway, twice. No, but I have to say,
guys, can I just say, sorry, guys, it's 28 minutes and 29 seconds. So.
Well, that's weird because I've got 34 minutes and 19 seconds.
I hate you all of you, and longer my friend.
Yeah, I've got 31 minutes. What's going on?
Oh, fucking off, everybody.
Well, good luck,
Dave just realised he hadn't pressed record, so here we go. No, but I have to say, like, thinking about now, considering what this year has thrown at us, I think this is probably like. For mental health reasons, probably one of the best things I could have done. Like,
might have kept Rich sane because he's going a bit bloody loopy at the moment.
No, absolutely. I know I've said that before, but it's been awesome. So, Joe, we still haven't finished with Joe's question.
I'll tell you, he wants his bank for his book, doesn't he? You know what, Joe? You don't pay for this podcast.
But he is our listener, so we really...
Yeah, he's the sole reason we continue to have these questions.
Shall I do the voice again? Joe, these questions are all for you.
I don't think he wants to pay for that.
Question answers. So at 29 minutes and 51, 52 seconds, we should move on to his next one, which is what drinks and snacks would you have during an ideal gaming session? Start with James.
I am all about the sweets. absolutely sweets all the way. That's it. And maybe the odd beer here and there, but generally it's water. I don't drink that much beer. The only reason I've got this one is because Rich was downing them, and I thought, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea, and it was, and it's gone, and I should probably go get another one. But yeah, no, generally it's sweets for me. That's what it is.
Yeah. Same here for me. I think water, generally a cup of tea, coffee if I can be bothered to make it beforehand, because I don't go for the instant stuff. So it's a bit of a rigmarole, firing up the machine and weighing out my beans and doing my milk and stuff.
You're missing out.
Have you tried Kenko?
Oh, Kenko! I should try Kenko. That's supposed to be really good.
Kenko,
smooth and rich. I heard.
Just don't go under it. Don't go under Kenko.
Don't go under Kenko. And
don't go under Kenko. It's just like.
Nothing that leaves smack. Like residue on the fingers. So like crisps, like no, because they're like there's like flavors and then you have to like lick your fingers. So again, with James, like sweets, like anything. Big fan of like Swedish fish. I don't know if you guys can get those in the UK. I don't think I've ever seen them. They're like an American jelly kind of sweet, but they're vegan, so that's cool. They are
but aren't they a really salty licorice Swedish fish?
No, they're fruity.
Are you saying Swedish fish?
Swedish fish.
Yeah.
They're vegan. They don't have any because most jelly sweets have gelatin in, which even if I wasn't vegetarian, I wouldn't touch because that's just fucking disgusting.
Are they fish? Are they fish?
They're shaped like fish.
Yeah, just like jelly babies aren't actually babies.
Dave, I love you so much.
All right. Who's heard? So you've all heard of Swedish fish? Is it just me that?
I have. But to be fair, I thought they were from IKEA. Like I think there's a lick. Yeah, they're not completely sweet though.
No. The ones I get, I have to get them from like the American store here. There's like American import store, and they have these Swedish fish. I think they're actually Canadian. I think. But
you're right. They're not actually fish, nor are they Swedish.
They're neither Swiss nor.
What are they then?
Swedish. Sweets, for fuck's sake!
You just said they're
like
not
jelly.
Sweet.
No,
he did. He did say.
They're they're sweet. They're like a gummy sweet.
Look what you've done to it.
I think we're over egging this pudding.
Oh my god! For God's sake, David. David, what? How would you answer this question?
Snacks, don't bother with them.
Right. Okay. Next.
Moving on.
Drinks depends on the game. If it's a social thing, then a few beers. If it's something taxing that I need to do a few more beers. No, then a nice
every gaming night of Dave's life.
A nice hot cup of Kenko. I can help you pass this beer out.
A hot cup of Kenko.
James, oh my god, let's move on.
As opposed to a cold cup of Kenko.
I was the one who brought the sweets up, which...
Richard, please. Let's make this sensible.
I can't beat anything that Dave says anyway. But the thing that's worse for me to eating is those, and I since I eat so much of it, are they called Mikado?
Yeah.
Oh, the breadstick with chocolate on it.
Yeah, the
sticks.
Yeah.
Oh, chocolate breadsticks. Nom.
Yeah. They're quite easy eating as well, aren't they? They just go in nice.
Yeah,
Jaffa cakes as well. Yeah. They go like that for
Jaffa
me.
Cakes. I can do a 12-pack
Jaffa
of those in one go
or
easy.
Lebanese biscuits. Lebanese.
Lebanese?
To be honest, I don't. They're called basically,
how many have you had?
Of these biscuits, there's a packet. It's 12 in a packet, and I do them. I don't have the packet long enough for me to actually read the name of the biscuit. But they're the like the rich tea square rectangular ones with a bit of chocolate.
See, I haven't heard of those either, but because Rich eats them, I'm presuming they're just like £8.50 for a pack of 12 or something. Are they really nice biscuits, Rich?
From Waitrose.
Yeah. No, you get them in Tesco, man. I should have looked up. Anyway, that's what I like. biscuits that sound a bit like Lebanese biscuits and chocolate breadsticks.
Nice. Stu?
I've got a snack which I would never eat, and I don't like it when people do it when I'm playing a crisps. Pisses me right off. Or you can hear, oh no. I know it's the. You know what? It's the bag. It's the bag.
Jacko with his
you should play with Jacko.
No, Jacko. Oh, and also Jacko used to play music really loud as well.
He doesn't now. He doesn't play music anymore. He's now moved in with his missus, so he's not allowed to be loud. So now he just eats carrots.
Now, drink will be, I don't know, more like a beer, like a brew dog or whatever. Snacks, I don't know, anything really. Crisps probably not, and if I do, then I'll mute myself. But that's it really. Anything goes. I mean, come on, you've seen me, I'm fat. I'll eat anything.
They're lovely. They are.
Oh, those are good biscuits.
Choco Leibniz. Yeah, I've heard of those. Yeah,
they are very good.
Yeah.
Nibble around the outside, chocolate, dum 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 dum, and then nibble to the top. Try to get the chocolate off. It breaks. Eat it. Start again. There's a challenge. It's a challenge you can't complete. You can't get all the chocolate off without eating biscuit.
It's like
you have to
doing
keep
that
trying.
with the Jaffa cake. You bite around the edges, and then you get the orange bit off with the chocolate on top. You eat the crappy cake bit underneath, and then you suck all the chocolate off, and then you've just got the orange
left with the orange disc.
But if you don't do it perfectly, you've got to eat the next one to try.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because generally you rip the jelly bit. You're like, no.
Yeah. It can't be done perfectly, so you keep banging them in.
Try again. Right. Worst gaming experience or memory? And he's saying, let's dig up some childhood trauma. So obviously,
Is this Joe again, isn't it?
Joe,
Yes,
yeah.
this is. You'll all be pleased to know this is his final part.
We can't have the Sega story again. That was upsetting.
I feel like I've answered this question.
Yeah, I think we have. I'm pretty sure. I can't even remember what my answer is, though. To be fair, can you?
No, I can't remember.
If you remember the question, can you remember what your answer was?
No.
It's all about continuity.
Nope, no idea.
Do you know what? I haven't answered this question before. What I've done is actually prepared this question.
There we go.
Oh, you dick.
Go on then. Let's hear it.
Oh,
Let's hear it then.
it's not good preparation, but I have. That's how my lockdown brain. I've been in the house now for constantly in the house for 10 days in a row, and so when I was saying to you, what have we done? What have we podcasted? I'm losing the reality gap between sleeping, gaming, podcasting, and working. It's just I just can't. It's crazy. So I've actually done this. So, but yeah, it's not a brilliant answer.
So is it life then? Is that the traumatic thing? Is life game?
No, the worst gaming experience is Destiny, Dick.
Destiny Dick.
No, honestly,
that was my best game.
I thought that was all a part of the act, all a part of the fun. You were actually genuinely pissed off.
He was fucking raging.
There was no way I was that bad at Destiny because I actually got to a point in Destiny.
I am genuinely shocked.
That experience was, is quite frankly the worst gaming experience I've ever had. Because it was, the thing is that I'm not actually that bad at Crucible. I'm not that bad at Crucible. But what's happened is that we then did this bullshit version of it. This version of it I'd never experienced. I didn't even know what the hammers were.
Oh, you did after.
And I just wanted to scream because I was like, I've never even seen these hammers. I don't even know what they do. And you all just,
they go up your ass and fuck you.
Oh mate, honestly, I'm a bit sad now. I didn't think it actually really peed you off.
Oh, I'm not sad. That's amazing.
James loves it.
That's amazing.
I didn't want to make anybody sad. I thought it was all part of the...
You're so lovely, and that's why you're editing next year's show. You're helping out.
You know it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen.
No,
I'm not.
So any FIFA experience is my worst gaming experience, including Pro Clubs from last night. Thanks for turning up, James. It was a fucking nightmare.
I'm glad I didn't turn up then.
I was trying to play and listen to these guys, and you abandoned us on both fronts, so that's fine.
Yeah.
To watch The Boys, and I haven't even finished The Boys, and I love The Boys, but that's it. Fine, you do that. But my actual worst gaming experience, I think, going back is digging it up, is Ghostbusters on the Spectrum 48K. Anyone ever remember the game
Never
Ghostbusters?
No.
I remember it had speech in it, didn't it?
19...
Ghostbusters. The terrible speech.
Well, you do remember it then.
Yeah, no, but I never played it. I remember the legends of.
This. You had to take the Ghostbusters into the worst looking version of the what's it called? The Ecto. What was the hearse called?
Ecto 1.
Ecto 1. And then you had to do a really terrible driving sim, which was basically a flat kind of pole position. Do you remember pole position? Yeah. But a 2D version of it. Move, and you had to catch the ghosts, move the ghost, and you could choose different versions. And then you had to pull the streams together. Well, it was impossible to complete. I actually haven't looked it up, but I should imagine no one completed it on the Spectrum. But I played it for hours and hours and hours, listening to the same.
I remember the start screen. It didn't have the lyrics, and there was a bouncing ball on there. And then when it got to
coming out the side of a Spectrum 48 there. Oh my god! And just played it for hours. To be honest, when you played Downwell last night, I was looking at that and going, to be honest, it reminds me of Ghostbusters. I don't think I could face it. But there you go. Worst and best, I guess, but worst.
Oh, so
worst game ever
for me. A long time ago, probably what, about 92, 93. Yeah. I had a game on the Super Nintendo called. You might have heard of this as a franchise, Jurassic Park. Oh. And this was an absolutely huge game, absolutely massive, and it took about 10 hours to complete, but it had no save point,
which is basically
it had no save point, so you had to do it in one go. It's a massive game, and you had to do it in one go. So I did it. Like, I set aside a day, and I had just so I wanted to do it. I wanted to finish it. I actually sat down with a little bit of a guide, which kind of like gave me like hints, like what to do, where to go, and I did it. I finished it, and that
sounds like the best game experience.
The end of game sequence was the shittest thing I've ever seen. Basically, it was an outline of the island with the Jurassic Park logo on, and it was simulating as if you were taking off in a helicopter, but not like a helicopter or anything. It was just the island getting smaller, and you're like, I've spent 10 hours solid of my day doing this, and that's all you're going to give me? Absolute bullshit.
What were you actually expecting?
Well, I don't know, but not that. That's like some.
Well, okay. What would you have liked?
I don't know, some kind of like cutscene or animation,
a reach around,
or anything.
What year was
that
this?
was just horrendous.
Some reach around.
Yeah, anything. Anything.
A little tickle of the bollocks.
Yeah, too now right. But there was it was nothing. It was just like the worst
in the console, and I'll suck you off. Yay! I know.
I don't think Steven Spielberg had that in mind, I've got to say.
No, it was just the worst game ending I've ever had, and I was like, really? I've spent my whole day doing this for that.
I think everyone must have had that kind of game ending.
Oh,
It'd be interesting on the feed to see what is the most disappointing game ending you've had, because it is so difficult to finish satisfactorily 70, 80, 10 hours of continuous game, whatever, isn't it? Like, to actually nail
it's more about the journey then, surely.
Yeah, the game was okay. It was pretty. I mean, for the SNES, it was kind of like mixed up top down and a bit of like Doom style first person shooter thing when you went into buildings. So it kind of like mixed it up. It was quite good in that way, but just But the whole no save
Yeah,
points.
but before trophies and platinums and stuff like that, there was no. That's why they brought them in, because there was no more than
Oh right, okay, that's it then. Is it?
Finish Rambo, First Blood. That was it. Or Gauntlet, which again, perhaps I'll go on my worst gaming experience is you can't actually complete. So I played hundreds of hours of Gauntlet on the.
And it
Spectrum.
just goes on and on and on. It's like you get to the end.
Yeah,
you get to the end of the tape, and it goes right. Rewind tape. Start again.
If as a player you've put a lot of effort into finishing someone's game, I think they have a responsibility to stick something decent at the end for you.
Yeah, I agree.
The thing is, Dave, is it doesn't really apply to me, does it?
I knew that was coming. I knew it. Of the 3 games I finished in my life, I was interested in the endings. It's right. You need to have a decent ending, don't you? If you've spent time and you've put hours in, you want to see something. You don't want to see an island.
What is the question we're answering anyway?
Worst gaming experience or memory?
Oh yeah.
So
it's got to be this. What's the most disappointing game to finish?
No, that wasn't the question.
You can't change his question.
You can't change
What's your name, Stu?
So Stu, what question are you going to answer this time?
I can't actually think of any which I've really. I mean, there's lots of games which I don't enjoy, like platformers and those kind of games. I'll bring you up against Super Meat.
Come on, which one is yes?
No, it's just anything like that. I just don't like platformers, or the is it isometric view? The top down but at an angle. Like what was that old Spectrum game?
There's a Batman game.
Law. No. Oh yeah, things
Knight's
like that.
Law.
That's the one.
Knight's Law.
Things like that I just never liked. But that's just me as a gamer, not liking those kind of games, and like Jet Set Willy and all that kind of stuff. See, back then I didn't really like those kind of games, so I cannot think of any off the top of my head which I've really hated. I mean, I've got frustrated with games and I've smashed a controller once.
Oh, haven't we all?
So
which one? Come on, which game did you?
That was Division 2.
Really?
Now, what a surprise!
Oh, yeah,
and you went back?
Right? That was near the start. No, it was only because I was tired and I was being a dick and I was just getting. So what I did, when you should just stop playing, and that's simple fix. Stop playing, walk away,
go to bed.
Don't get angry. I was actually playing solo. There was nobody else in my group or anything like that. And I was trying to do this it's one of the end games. And I was on it for 2.5 hours and I just could not do it. And I was going, no, I don't need help. I'm going to do this. In the end, smash my controller.
You need help.
And then I've not done that again. I've not done that since. But that's more frustration. That's not. Well, I suppose that could be classed as a bad gaming experience.
Yeah, that is a bad game.
I suppose.
That is a bad
game. Okay. My hat is going to throw in with that one.
Bam. So, James, what therapy do you need for your worst gaming experience?
So I've got 3. So they're all rather long. Give me 15, 20 minutes. No. Like Stu, I smashed a controller the other day. I'll give you
the other day.
Pray tell.
I'll give you one guess.
It FIFA accidents?
Yes.
Weekend League.
It wasn't Weekend League. It was just FIFA in general.
Wow.
It was being a. Now I threw my controller a couple of times, broke it open. It was still working. I went, you know what? I'm going to do a proper job on this. So I walked into the garage, because the garage has got big, obviously, breeze block walls. Smashed it up against the wall.
Oh my god!
And then, no, it gets better than that. I haven't finished yet. And then to completely make sure I obliterated it, I put it on the floor and got a golf club. And it was only a child's golf club because that way I could put a full swing in without actually hitting the ceiling. And I hit it with the golf club 2 or 3 times. I'd have probably driven it about 300 yards.
So
now get it out, brother.
Have you had to buy a new controller?
No, because I have one. It's just
he glued it back together.
It's just here. This is the unbroken one. But I will.
For now.
I might have to buy one potentially. But we'll see.
That is FIFA.
That is
all
amazing.
Over.
That makes me. All I did was smash my controller on a table and broke it that way. You went to town and
Did you feel better, James, for doing it? Did you feel better for doing it?
As I put it in the bin, I went, you know what? I feel better, but that is 50.
That's just cost me 50 quid.
That's 50 quid's worth of rage right there. Oh my god!
And I thought, and then I walked back in the house and went, you know what? It's fucking worth it. And then
that was
Worth it.
that was like. Did I tell? I have told this when I kicked my cupboard in.
I've seen the evidence. Yes.
Did you guys know this?
No.
So my TV is on a cupboard that's about a foot off the thing. It's got two sort of vented slots on the left and right, which will keep my PlayStation in one. And yeah, I got up with FIFA and stuck my foot through the vented slots of the cupboard.
Did your foot get stuck in the cupboard at one stage?
No,
Oh,
no,
that would have
it
been comedy
didn't.
gold.
I just kicked. Well, what I actually did was kick the stool that was in front of me, which kicked it through the cupboard. And then Mrs. Purvis came home and said, "What happened?" I said, "Oh, I tripped over the stool and the stool flew into the cupboard." Anyway, it's glued. I glued it back together, but it was just
So
that's FIFA.
yeah, so that's my
glad I don't play that
latest
game.
one. When I was a lot younger, I would have probably been 12 or 13, had a Game Boy. Another rage incident, sitting on the toilet, having a shit, playing the Game Boy. Something pissed me off, and
Literally.
something pissed me off, and I elbowed the screen of my of my Game Boy, cracked it, filled with all the black stuff, and I went, oh, I then hid it from my parents for about 6 months. Oh, indeed. And then actual game related was probably Fallout 3, having stuck, I've said this before on this podcast, but having stuck hours and hours into it, get into Megaton, you go into the bar with this shady bloke, and you can either stop him shooting the sheriff, or let him shoot the sheriff. I let him shoot the sheriff, then shot him, but that closed off all my storylines.
Oh, that's just. I remember you
And
telling
I
me
was
that.
like,
It's just,
I've not played a Fallout game since because of that.
It almost killed your first until Horizon Zero Dawn.
And yeah, you know what that is? Yeah, you're right. Fallout 3, that killed my single player game, and ever since then I never put any real effort. And I'd say Destiny, but Destiny had that multiplayer aspect to it as well. But yeah, until Horizon Zero Dawn, and then The Last of Us.
Yeah. I think the last part of Joe's question is let's dig up some childhood trauma is done that very much.
Yeah.
I haven't answered it yet.
Oh,
Trauma.
look, yours is PJ's crying as an 18-year-old. We know yours.
yeah, and see, you want what? You've got more. You got more to add, have you?
You got worse than that.
Well, briefly then, I have to mention that was the worst, the Sega Master System thing. I have to mention Everybody's Golf, because that was fucking horrendous.
Hang on.
That was
this is
amazing.
revelation tonight. So hang on. So Rich was genuinely pissed off about Destiny, and you were genuinely pissed off about Everybody's Golf.
I was gutted, and then we had to record the podcast immediately after.
That was so funny. And we were getting in all the golf
fucking
jokes. It was awesome.
I have no gauge. I have no gauge. Not at all.
To be fair, you've only got one person to blame, Dave, and that's yourself. For
You had that.
cracking.
You
under
had that in
pressure.
the bag, and you fucked it. You fucked it
cracked.
good.
He cracked.
I snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
Oh,
That's
you
what I
did.
did.
My only thing this year is to be anywhere slightly higher than Dave, right? and Dave and I know we are the shittest at games, and that's why it's so emotional. We're like the relegation team battling
Relegation
it out
battle, yeah.
Sometimes
Last game of the
Exactly.
season. Who wins stays up.
So Uno is going to be one hell of a competition.
That's going to be very heated, isn't
I'll
it?
tell you,
Looking
Dave has been practicing. I can tell he's. Been
You can't
It's
practice.
going to be emotional.
And my
strategy.
my other, I've got two more. Very briefly, the other one would have been
This
playing Skyward Sword, and the final boss Demise was probably the angriest I've ever been playing a video game. I was apoplectic with rage.
Did you smash a controller?
I threw it across the room,
Oh,
but it
pretty
didn't.
much.
But it didn't break. But I my whole body was shaking. I was fucking furious because it wasn't the boss, because the controls were dodgy. It was the first. I think it was one of the first games.
The
to have
Skyward
motion
Sword
plus.
controls, I will agree, were just absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. It was
And
forced
it
Wii
just-
Motion Plus,
oh,
and it was
God.
just awful. Absolutely awful.
Yeah. And then I had ongoing trauma with my Amstrad CPC 464.
Great machine.
Wow.
Well, 6128 was better, but good machine.
Listen to Stu. That's brilliant. That is that's great. That is great. Getting a little miniature Phillips screwdriver in the fucking tape deck, twisting it to try and get the head to move up and down so it would load the game, because my machine had loads of problems with that. If the head was slightly misaligned, it wouldn't load the tape. It wouldn't read the tape properly, it wouldn't load the game. So I spent hours fucking about with that little, moving that head up and down.
Amstrads and Spectrums loading pain. I mean, there was me and my mate Steve used to set the games up on the Spectrum to run and creep out of the room and shut the door so there was no air movement around.
It's crazy.
the
It's
machine
crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
that couldn't. But it's just like, oh, and then 5 minutes later, come in and just
Is it loaded?
open the
Is it
door
loaded?
slightly. It's like, has it loaded? Oh, that fucking thing's crashed.
See, on Spectrums, I never had a problem with loading.
Oh,
stuff.
I did.
It was more.
It was horrendous.
Remember the Kingston joystick packs?
Yep.
Yeah,
You put the
Kingston
joystick in, but as soon as you touch it slightly, it'd reset the Spectrum. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, what a peripheral fuck up those controllers were. So, and they broke so easily as well. Oh, I do love
Everyone under 30 that listened to this, which there probably wasn't anyone anyway, but they've all switched off now.
Well, you know what? The clue's in the title: Midlife Gamer, Year of Shame. You know.
Yeah, but
Apart from James, who's a fraud. You know, he's not.
yeah, he's sort of semi-midlife, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's only midlife in his head.
Anyway,
Right. Have we had enough of answering Joe's?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Joe
I
has
think we've
taken
done.
9 minutes and 18 seconds, so we need to move on.
okay, now we're 24 minutes.
Oh,
into
you know,
the
everybody,
podcast.
when I said it's been really nice knowing Duane. You know, I never knew him before and all that. And there's things where I was like, it's like a friend or whatever. Nah, God.
See, I think what we're all trying to do is get you to drop the C-bomb, because I think you're the only one who hasn't yet. And I think...
You have to edit himself out. That'd be
Yeah,
brilliant.
so you just need to... we're just pushing you.
Tonight's the night, boys.
We're going to get him to do
Just
it.
keep going. Just keep going.
Nice straightforward
Let's drop
one.
the C-bomb on the questions. Cath Macaulay's question.
So David Southall, he asks...
Oh.
Given that we're all getting PS5 at some point, and there isn't a massive amount of launch games, what backwards compatible game are we looking forward to with improved performance? And he does add a couple of addendums to that. Stu isn't allowed to say Division 2, and Rich and James are not allowed to say COD/FIFA. So start with Stuart, not Division 2.
It's going to be Last of Us. And the new one from CD Projekt Red,
Cyberpunk?
which is great because that's not going to come out, is it, for another 2 years?
No, it's
Just
not.
face it. It's not going to happen. No, but he'll give The Last of Us. That would be my game, so move on. That would be it.
Yeah, I
That's my
think
game.
for me, I think it will be Last of Us, because I've played it through once, but I still want to play it through again. But I think I might wait until PS5's out and wait for that kind of upgrade, and maybe even, because I think Bloodborne's potentially on that list as well, so maybe that one too.
Don't be a fool.
No, I'm really enjoying it.
Doing it to
I'm
yourself.
really enjoying it, and actually, I'm actually kind of watching videos now of Demon's Souls, the remake, which I'm actually getting really excited for that on PlayStation 5.
That looks ace.
It looks so nice.
There you go then.
So nice.
That's your answer then, isn't it?
So yeah, for me, that's the one I'm actually looking forward to actually kind of getting my hands on, because I'm actually really enjoying Bloodborne, so I want to sort of get into some of those Soulsborne's games now and actually play through some of them. Rich,
Like the others, Last of Us 2. Cyberpunk, Ghost. Basically, everything we missed this year.
Ghost.
That's
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's what. That's
Go better.
yeah. I just about. The good thing is that we're going to have the updated versions of all on PS5. So
True.
yeah,
Very true.
anything I missed this year.
James?
Yeah.
Yeah, boring. Same, really. Things that we've had this year. Well, actually, no. Probably, maybe Grand Theft Auto.
Really?
Oh, I still play that now and then. And I think if it was on PS5, I'd probably play it. Probably put a lot of hours into it again, because I put quite a lot of hours into that.
Have you been logging in every day, getting the million or something?
I haven't logged in for a while, but I think if it was on PS5, I probably would. But yeah, other than that, it's the games that have come out this year outside of COD and FIFA. Unfortunately, Dave Mr. Southall handcuffed me, and I'm like, no, I can't really think of anything else because I don't play anything else other than those two games.
And what about you, David?
Last of Us 2.
Yeah, I think Last of Us 2, I think for all of us. Like, even though I've played it, I want to play it again.
Definitely The Last of Us 2. Well, I haven't played it.
I'm probably not that bothered in replaying something I've played before, but I've been looking at that PlayStation collection, which is obviously the games that you get pre-installed on the PS5. There's about 15.
There's a fair few, actually, and I think a lot of them I've already played, but I think...
there are some that I haven't. I can't even remember what they fucking were now. Hold on a minute.
Well, the first PS Plus free game for the PS5 is Bug Snacks.
Fuck off, Bugsnax.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But
That looks good.
Duane, you said Bloodborne actually, and I will echo you on that. I think Bloodborne.
I think that could be really nice.
It looks ace now, to be honest. But it's like 5 years old, that game. But it looks fucking
Yeah, it
brilliant.
still looks really good.
So, yeah, there's that one, and what else? Oh fucking hell! I've got it written down. I can't see where I've got it written down. Days Gone was another one actually that I've not played yet, but that's part of that collection.
Yeah, I'll definitely play that.
Yeah, open worlder. So yeah, I think those two is my pick.
Nice. So thanks, Dave. Right. So Dan Jackson, this one could be short or long, depending on how we go with it. So he'd like to know which 3 famous people or characters, dead or alive, would we invite to our fantasy dinner party? Start with Dave.
Right. So a dinner party for me, I think, should be fun. So I'm kind of sticking with the fun elements. The first guest would be Stuart Lee.
Me?
Oh, good choice. But he's not really that fun because he can be quite depressing.
Yeah, but he's funny, isn't he? He'd be really funny.
He's funny.
If he was on form, stick a couple of glasses of wine into him. He'd be all right. He'd be good. He'd be a good laugh, I think. So he'd be the kind of highbrow entertainment. Louis Spence would be my second choice.
What the fuck?
Hey?
Louis Spence.
Yeah, I know who Louis Spence is.
He'd be a
but why?
right laugh. He'd be fucking dancing around the room. He'd go, all right, darling, let's have a look at your fucking lemon sponge or whatever. But he'd be lots of fun, Louis, wouldn't he?
You could have given me 100 choices of people that you would invite.
But I would never have picked
Louis
that.
Spence would never have got there.
No way.
I wouldn't even gone close.
Back in the day, I watched a bit of Pineapple Dance Club or whatever it was called. I don't know what it was called. It had the word pineapple in it.
Yeah, it did have. Oh my god.
Yeah,
And I thought Louis Spence was hilarious.
yeah.
And I think
This is kind of Duane's territory.
he
so
would
don't
be
feel I
really
should
good
tread
fun.
on it.
He's probably Duane's mate.
Oh, the only reason, I'll be honest, the only reason I know who he is because he featured quite heavily on Harry Hill's TV Burp.
Oh,
when
that was a great show. That was.
I loved Harry Hill's TV Burp, but yeah, the only reason I know who Louis Spence is because he appeared on that quite a few times because obviously Harry Hill took the piss out of him and his TV show. And obviously, Louis Spence is game for anything, so he was like,
So we're sat there. Stuart Lee's he's giving it a bit. He's having fun. All the rest of it. He's a clever bloke. Louis Spence is bouncing off Stuart Lee, probably literally because he does bounce around Louis, doesn't he? Great fun. Third guest would be Lucy Porter. she's
that's a name I've not heard for a long time.
She's a comedian, but I quite fancy her. So the hope is we'd have a good laugh, and when Louis and Stu are fucked off at the end of the night, me and her get it on.
Right.
Okay,
David. Oh my god.
This is something he's masturbated over, definitely.
There we go.
He's pulling that out from his bank.
Richard, I'm just moving on from that one and not going to let his wife know about that. Richard.
She doesn't listen. It's not a problem.
No, absolutely. No, and luckily, your wife doesn't listen and my neighbour doesn't listen.
Mate, she does. She
But if they did, the outcome would pretty much be the same.
It would, actually.
Mate, my wife doesn't listen to me when I'm in the same room as her, let alone fucking digitally.
Anyway, Rich.
Yeah, I'd go along the same lines. No, I wouldn't go the same lines as Dave at all. No, I don't know. Yeah, no, but very, very, very 90s and 80s for me. It would have to be Bill Hicks, comedian.
Oh, excellent.
And Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor.
Nice, cool, nice choices.
Fuck you, Rich.
So, James,
Why have I pulled the same?
Let's go straight to James, immediately to James.
Well, no, because I can't now because two of mine are gone.
Yes, you can. No, you
No,
can.
what? Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor? No way.
Why? Because
Have you picked that?
Yeah,
Put your glasses back on.
they would be awesome.
Absolutely.
You are allowed to have them. You can have them.
You can say the same.
Yeah, no, I think
I had those
I think that's really cute.
Just don't have the dinner party on the same night as Rich. That's all.
Don't double book.
Yeah.
And the third one, fuck knows.
Oh, you did? You only thought of two?
Tell you.
That's why it's a problem.
The question had the number 3 in it.
It did. You're well done, Dave. It did, but
it was always a danger. You thinking of only two?
no, it was always a danger.
I
I struggled with this one because I'm not really sure. I've not really ever been that sort of person to think, oh, who would I like to, in the ideal world would I like to have round for a dinner party?
Why did you come up with Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor?
Because you just said it, and he thought, yeah, I'll say that.
You're too young. You're too young to have known them in the 80s, like I knew Richard Pryor.
I'm too young to know them back in from the 80s, but no, I watched them from the 80s in the 90s when I was younger.
Yeah.
What's one of the films they've been in?
Oh, don't fucking start. We're going to be here forever. Go fuck yourself, Dave. Put yourself back in your box.
Just one film. That's all I was asking.
No. Put yourself back in your box. Stop being a.
Why?
You just say a film, wouldn't you? You would just say a film with this one. You would just say one of the films.
Hear no evil, see no evil.
We're just.
It's got you there, David.
Yeah,
shut up, David.
That's fine. I was satisfied with that. That's all right.
Thanks very much.
The best scene in that is the kiosk scene when he says, "What, are you blind?" Yeah, are you fucking deaf? Yeah, I'm fucking deaf. There you go.
And I think of another one. Steve Martin.
Steve Martin.
Which era?
Yeah.
No, because he went a bit odd.
Or the jerk.
The Jerk is.
Don't forget,
I'm
a lot
Jerk
younger
is
than you.
one of the greatest films. It is a wonderful film.
It is one of the greatly overrated.
I will
films
have to watch that.
The man with two brains is better than the Jerk, isn't it?
Fucking hell. LA Story is his best.
That's a good film. Yeah, I do like the film. Jerk's the best.
Man with Two Brains is with a
yeah.
What about you?
What about you, Duane?
What about me? Okay, so I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I'm kind of weird. I don't have this kind of weird celebrity adulation thing that some people have. I kind of think, I just kind of respect people who I think do a good job at what they do. So for me, I think
Boris Johnson.
Boris Johnson is just the best.
Donald Trump
and him, just like. Terry Pratchett, I think I would actually really, really love to have at a dinner party because
Terry Pratchett.
He was a back in his prime before all the sad shit happened. He was like a legend. Well, he still is a legend, but yeah, it's all very sad what happened to him. Probably like some
Terry Gilliam.
Yeah, I'm going to go for all the Terrys then. So Terry Gilliam, yes, because he's an amazing director, and some of his movies are just absolutely fantastic.
And the only reason I say
Terry McCann.
Can I say
Terry
the other?
Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher, yes, Terry Hatcher.
There you go.
There you go.
Terry Towling.
Terry Towling. I was just going to say Terry Towling. Brilliant.
Who the fuck is Terry?
Oh, Dave,
Towling?
you only just said that because Rich said it.
My God, James.
Who's Terry Towling? I know the name. Who remind me?
Haven't got a clue.
Terry Towling is a material that they made nappies
Oh, of course
out
it
of.
is. Yeah, I thought it was an actual
Pampers.
person. I was like, I know the name. So Terry, yes, Terry Towling. I'd have him too. He seems like a nice chap.
Yeah.
All the
Not
Terrys.
many spills. If you had any
All the
spills,
Terrys.
you could come in handy.
And Stuart, what about you?
Now, do you want really an answer? Or do you want me to go completely left? No, they're not that left field. I would have, in no particular order, George Lucas, Freddie Mercury, and Sean Connery. I think that would be ace. Very male dominated.
Sean Connery popped into my head.
It is, but Sean Connery would like that, seeing as she loves to slap the woman.
Oh, yeah, Freddie Mercury would be fucking brilliant as well. He'd be off his face, having fun, dancing around, and yet telling the most ridiculous stories, which you'd think, you're making this shit up, aren't you?
Yeah.
And it probably really happened to him. And Sean Connery, I want to know more about Highlander. I watched that the other day, actually yesterday, because he's sad passing away. Because even though I do not like James Bond, just don't like it at all. However,
Wow.
if I had to like a particular James Bond, it would have been Sean Connery years.
Where did you watch Highlander?
Best James Bond by miles.
On the telly.
Yeah, and
Yeah, but
then,
what platforms do you watch Highlander on? I'd love to watch that again.
I bought it on Amazon Prime.
Oh.
I think it was about £6.
It's
a great film. Because it's got Freddie Mercury in it as well, singing. So it's absolutely
not
fantastic.
Yeah,
and then George Lucas, I've got a lot of questions and a lot of drinking to do. And he needs to answer some questions.
It's a dinner party, not a kangaroo court.
Yeah.
No. You know what?
It's supposed to be fun, Stu. It's supposed to be fun.
You know what? That man though, as much as he's upset me because of various things, it hasn't, because he's also brought me so much joy in my life. You know what I mean? And
he's brought you 2 films worth of joy in your life.
3 of the best films, in my
3,
opinion,
okay.
has ever made, and that's it. So.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I want them all there.
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury, George... Sean Connery, God, that'd be ace.
Yeah.
Freddie
that's my
would be
answers.
great fun, Freddie.
Yeah, he would be.
Yeah.
He would be.
I wish I said Freddie now instead of Louis.
In terms of
So did we.
No, you can't change your choices now, Dave. You're stuck with Louis Spence.
that's it, Louis Spence. Well,
God,
well
imagine
done.
being
All the
trapped in a
people
room
in the
with Louis
world
Spence.
you could have picked.
He'd be great. He would be great.
But for like half an hour, then you'd be like, seriously, mate, calm it down. Like, tone it down. Can you just sit down for like 2 seconds? Be like a hyperactive toddler who you've given like a massive bag of Haribo
But
to.
he would have ups and downs. So for the first half hour, he'd be dancing around, going, all right, darling, with his lisp and all the rest of it. For the next half hour, he'd be crying in the corner. Then he'd sort of come back up again, and he'd be.
Is
great.
this what you, is this, if this is what you like? That is exactly what you like at a dinner party.
Like a great dinner party.
It is.
Mr. Bible sounds like corner.
But whilst he's crying in the corner, Stuart Lee's going for a piss. Me and Lucy are having a little kiss and cuddle on the sofa.
To be honest, I think it would be Lucy who'd be crying in the corner as.
Yeah, she probably would. She'd be banging on the door trying to get out.
Yeah.
And you'll be the one who'd be going for a piss constantly.
Yeah, good. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and Lucy will be off with
All
Lee,
right.
and you'll be crying in the corner. Anyway,
I saw Stuart Lee once in Gloucester. He was in Pizza Express in Gloucester.
Is that a musical?
Was this your brother's mate's mate brothers?
I saw him. He was there with his family
on a snooker table.
and I was having a meal with my family, and I thought I would love to go and talk to him and say, but I bottled it. Anyway,
Yeah, I would as well.
Move on. Bottled it.
Yeah, I would as well.
move on. We're in 14 minutes 40,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, so we're coming up to 15 minutes on the recording, so we've actually kept this quite short, really, and that's quite impressive.
Well done, lads.
I don't know how we've got through all this in 15 minutes. That's amazing. So Cath on Facebook, she asks, with 2020 mostly being in lockdown, having online access to video games has never been more important. So with that in mind, If we could inflict a theme hospital illness on all of our co-hosts for the remainder of the year, what illness would we choose and why? Options include, but are not limited to, slack tongue, bloaty head, king complex, and alien DNA. Start with Stuart.
I've never played Theme Hospital. And also, if I come out with an ailment, would it be insensitive? Because it might actually be something real, and somebody in the world might hear this and thinking, "Oh no, I've been."
Don't be so woke.
Don't be
just say it.
Right, so I don't. So I've done a teeny tiny bit of research of this question, literally 5 minutes before the podcast recording, and I did a search for 10 most funny ailments. And one of them
was one of them Super Meat Boy.
Talk about utterly taking the comedy out of any situation. You're searching the top 10 funniest.
There's an ailment actually called. Now I hope if anybody listens to this, they haven't got this, because I am taking the piss now, but I don't really mean to. But it's called the Alice in Wonderland syndrome. Have you ever heard of that? It's where you actually perceive everything is small. It's an actual proper thing.
Yeah, my wife's got it.
So that's my answer. Moving on. I thought that was fascinating when I read it.
Oh, thanks for setting that, Stu. That was brilliant.
So I actually looked up theme hospital illnesses, and some of them are actually quite good, but there is one that doesn't necessarily apply to all of my fellow hosts, but definitely applies to James, and it's called TV personalities. And the symptoms are delusions of being able to present a cookery show.
Salt and pepper marinade.
I knew as soon as you said that, I was like, you knob.
Is that actually one?
That is actually one. There are some amazing illnesses in this.
Prick.
So that's my answer.
Well, you're the one who said it, mate. I mean,
kiss my ring.
My salty ring.
Is that
my salty and peppery ring?
Or a marinated ring is what I call it.
I've been keeping it up there for about 2 hours. What else have they got then?
So another one, which is actually quite pertinent for us, is heaped piles.
Yeah, that's one I give Dave straight away.
So patient feels like he's sitting on a bag of marbles. So have fun with that, Dave.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That one, or ruptured nodules, which is inability to sit down comfortably.
So
what would I have to weigh?
What would you have? Oh, you'd have. Hang on. There's some. How about gastric ejections?
I had you for that, Duane. You were talking about your shitting prowess the other week.
Yeah, I'm a good shitter. Half-digested food is emitted from the patient in random clusters.
I don't like that.
No, you don't like that.
I asked you as third-degree sideburns.
Third-degree sideburns?
Yes, you know what? So did I. That would have been hilarious. That's exactly what I'd picked.
Is that something... it was something to do with, what was it, the 1970s or something?
Big hair, flares, platforms, and glitter makeup.
That's it. Cause is wistful longing for the 1970s.
Yeah.
But Birmingham is like the 1970s anyway.
The 1970s. So... And I'd give Richard chronic nose hair, which is nose beard a badger could make a nest in.
That is a fine beard, though.
It's quite true.
It is.
Quite true.
See, I've backed up. I've shaved in mine, so it's.
I had Richard's sweaty palms actually because it says something about fear of job interviews. I thought it'd be fear of the HR people coming to talk to him about what he's been up to with the new intern or something.
That's the cause. The actual symptom is handshakes with the patient, or like grabbing a recently submerged sponge.
Brilliant.
What about you, Rich? You got any?
I've not even looked these up, but you've all looked these up. What? I've got to choose one that's actually in hospital. Or I've got to make one up.
No, there's like a whole load of illnesses in theme hospital. I didn't actually know about this, but this is awesome.
So I could just
get on Google top 10 ailments. Go.
Well, can I just make one up?
If you want.
Yeah, go on.
I'm going to say No.
Brilliant. Thanks for that.
Cheers, Rich.
That
was
is
awesome.
Content.
That was great.
Comedy
I was
gold.
gonna. I had it in my head.
Dear, I'm just lockdown pervis. I don't like this. Come on.
I
Come
know.
on,
I've
snap
got
out
to
of
be
it.
sharp.
Come on.
I had to be sharp. It wasn't coming. It wasn't extracting.
It wasn't flowing.
It wasn't
properly, mate.
coming.
That's all right.
Okay.
It wasn't coming. It was that moment where it was a bit
think it's
like
coming, but it's
Jacko
not.
in his Tinder, where he went and it just like after 2 hours on the fat bird, he was like, "I'm not coming." So
I had
move
James
on. I'll
down
think of
for,
something.
I had James down for sleeping illness, which is obviously to do with a lot of sleeping. Because I just imagine James when he's not doing this, he's just asleep, and he just wakes up 5 minutes before we start recording. We record, and then he just goes to sleep again.
Back to sleep.
What I tell you what I was trying to think of. I was trying to describe what an ailment would be when you don't know if which way up your head is supposed to be, and describing James, because I'm not quite sure sometimes if his head is on the right way up.
It's reversible. His head is reversible.
Reversible headitis. Yeah, where it looks like you
Is
could
that
turn his
because
head
of
up
my beard?
any way and it would look the same.
Is that because of my beard?
But our listeners might not have any context to this. We need to have a good shot of his face.
You do.
Not all over his face, Duane. Just a shot of his face.
You do, yeah.
He sort of looks like he's been in lockdown for about 15 years with no access to a hairdresser.
It's
I think
California
the best
man.
description of him, which is also a compliment, was Wolverine, and even you commented on that.
He's kind of lockdown Wolverine.
What? Wolverine who's let himself go.
Let's go. A bit like Thor in
Yeah.
Thor in the Avengers Endgame.
He bears more of a passing resemblance as well to Blanca out of Street Fighter, I think.
Yeah, he does. That's Ginger.
Blanca.
I like the way we moved away from Alberts just to straight insults.
Right then, so I think that's all our questions caught up. So thanks, guys, for answering those.
Took 47 minutes and 15 seconds. That's absolutely brilliant.
Well, I've got.
I mean, for all the listeners,
26 minutes.
Yeah, for all the listeners, we've had to stop the recording. This is the third attempt now, and I'm going to try and paste this, splice all this together.
So he's got, what is it? Hang on. So it's 3 segments by 5. So that's 50. You got 15 segments to try to piece together.
Yeah, and we're at 23 minutes now.
Of 12 minutes each.
20. Well, no, I've got 4 hours 17.
I tell you, if yeah.
So
He's lost the will to live.
I don't know.
All
Yeah.
right, bring us
Bye.
bring us home.
Thanks, everybody. Keep those questions coming in.
Bye. Bye.
Salt and pepper marinade.